Free Florida Civic Literacy Exam Study Guide. Welcome to the quiz. In a fast-paced drill, what is the constitutional source of Congress's implied powers? Is it A, the Commerce Clause? Or B, the Necessary and Proper Clause, Elastic Clause? C, the Supremacy Clause? Or D, the General Welfare Clause? The answer is B. Article 1, Section 8's Necessary and Proper Clause, often called Elastic Clause, grants Congress power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution its enumerated powers, allowing implied powers beyond explicit text as upheld in McCulloch v. Maryland, 1819, where Marshall defined necessary broadly as convenient or useful, enabling national bank and expansive federal legislation over time. Option A, Commerce Clause grants interstate commerce regulation, source of many implied powers, but not the clause itself. Option C, Supremacy Clause establishes federal law supremacy. Option D, General Welfare Clause authorizes taxing/spending for general welfare, interpreted broadly in United States v. Butler, but tied to enumerated ends. Next question. A bootcamp flashcard question. Which case held that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm for self-defense within the home? Is it A, McDonald v. Chicago? Or B, DC v. Heller? C, Miller v. Alabama? Or D, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin? The answer is B. District of Columbia v. Heller, 2008, 5-4 Scalia, held for first time Second Amendment protects individual right to possess firearms unconnected with militia service, striking DC's handgun ban and storage requirements as incompatible with self-defense core. Historical analysis rejected collective/militia-only view. Option A, McDonald v. Chicago, 2010, incorporated Heller individual right to states via 14th Amendment. Option C, Miller v. Alabama, 2012, banned mandatory life without parole for juveniles. Option D, Bruin, 2022, established history and tradition test for gun regulations, striking Newark concealed carry law. Next question. Intensive review. The Lemon v. Kurtzman, 1971. Decision established a test related to which clause of the First Amendment? Is it A, Free Exercise Clause? Or B, Establishment Clause? C, Free Speech Clause? Or D, Assembly Clause? The answer is B. Lemon v. Kurtzman created the three-prong Lemon test for Establishment Clause violations. Statute must have secular legislative purpose, primary effect neither advance nor inhibit religion, and avoid excessive government entanglement with religion, struck Pennsylvania/Rhode Island aid to religious schools. Though criticized and sometimes bypassed, e.g., Kennedy v. Bremerton 2022, it influenced decades of church-state jurisprudence. Option A, Free exercise protects religious practice. Option C, free speech expression. Option D, assembly peaceful gathering. Next question. A rapid-fire question on federalism. Which Supreme Court case, 1995, limited Congress's Commerce Clause power by ruling a federal gun-free school zone law was unconstitutional? Is it A, Gibbons v. Ogden? Or B, Heart of Atlanta Motel v. U.S.? C, U.S. v. Lopez? Or D, Gonzalez v. Reich? The answer is C. United States v. Lopez, 1995, 5-4 Rehnquist, struck Gun-Free School Zones Act as exceeding Commerce Clause authority since possessing gun near school was non-economic local activity without substantial interstate effect. First major limit since New Deal, reviving federalism constraints post-Wickard aggregation. Option A, Gibbons, 1824, broadly defined commerce. Option B, Heart of Atlanta, 1964, upheld public accommodations via commerce. Option D, Reich, 2005, upheld federal marijuana ban even interstate homegrown. Next question. Bootcamp focus on amendments. Which amendment contains the Due Process Clause that incorporates fundamental freedoms to the states? Is it A, Fifth Amendment? Or B, 10th Amendment? C, 14th Amendment? Or D, First Amendment? The answer is C. The 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property, without due process of law, has been vehicle for selective incorporation, applying most Bill of Rights protections to states as fundamental to ordered liberty, beginning Palco v. Connecticut, 1937, through modern cases like Timms v. Indiana, 2019. Option A, 5th contains identical federal clause. Option B, 10th reserves powers to states/people. Option D, 1st contains religion/speech protections themselves. Next question. Final drill question. The concept of dual sovereignty in American federalism means a person can be tried for the same crime in. Is it A, federal and military court? Or B, state and federal court? C, civil and criminal court? Or D, appellate and district court? The answer is B. Dual sovereignty doctrine, rooted in federalism, allows separate sovereigns, state and federal, to prosecute same conduct as distinct offenses without violating Fifth Amendment double jeopardy, affirmed in Abate v. United States, 1959, and Gamble v. United States, 2019, e.g., Rodney King officers acquitted state but convicted federal civil rights. Option A, military separate under UCMJ. Option C, civil remedies versus criminal punishment different. Option D, same sovereign levels. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell us how many you scored out of 6 in the comments, and let me know what topic I should post next. Bye.